If you haven't had a strong, dependable erection in a while, I want you to listen closely, because this may be the most important sexual health message you've heard in years. What I'm about to tell you isn't a sales pitch, it's a medical wake-up call. The real reason so many older men struggle in the bedroom has little to do with aging and everything to do with what's flowing or not flowing through your blood vessels. My name is Dr. Rena. I've spent over 3 decades treating men's sexual health, helping truck drivers, military veterans, and grandfathers in their 70s and 80s bring their sex lives back from the dead. And here's the surprising truth. Prescription pills are not your only option. In fact, they often ignore the root cause entirely. Here's what most doctors won't tell you. 9 specific oils, completely natural, easy to find, and backed by science, can help reverse erectile dysfunction by healing the very systems that fuel your erections. Not with chemicals, but by restoring blood flow, reducing inflammation, and rebalancing hormones, all naturally. Today, I'm going to walk you through each one of these oils, how they work, and how to use them to feel results, often in just 7 days. And before we're done, I'll also share a simple daily routine you can follow that could help you feel like yourself again, in ways you may have thought were gone forever. Before we dive into these powerful natural solutions, take a second to subscribe and tap the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss another life-changing health tip made specifically for men over 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. I want to keep improving this content to serve you better. Now let's get into the heart of it, starting with the very first oil. This one has been called liquid gold for a reason. It's not only a staple in heart-healthy diets around the world, but it's also one of the most powerful natural tools we have for improving blood flow, especially where it matters most. Let me introduce you to extra virgin olive oil, what I call the circulation savior. 1. Extra virgin olive oil, the circulation savior. When I first started treating older men with erectile dysfunction, one of the most surprising discoveries I made wasn't in a medication or a fancy clinic procedure. It was in the kitchen. Extra virgin olive oil, something many of us already have sitting in our cabinets, turned out to be one of the most powerful tools for restoring blood flow and revitalizing sexual health naturally. The science backs this up. Olive oil is packed with antioxidants and heart-healthy fats that protect your arteries, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation from head to toe, including the arteries that supply your penis. And those arteries are the smallest in the body, which means they're often the first to clog, narrow, and stop delivering the blood you need for a strong, sustained erection. When my patients over 60 start using olive oil daily, usually just a tablespoon with food, they often report that within days, they feel more energy, more sensation, and even stronger morning erections. That's no coincidence. Olive oil doesn't just help your heart, it unlocks your body's natural ability to perform sexually without relying on pills or artificial boosters. If you've been feeling like things just aren't working the way they used to, this could be your first step toward real change. But olive oil is only the beginning, because the next oil on our list doesn't just support blood flow, it actively reignites male vitality from deep inside the body. Let's talk about an oil that's been used for centuries and is now making a powerful comeback: black seed oil. 2. Black seed oil, the male vitality booster. I remember the first time an older patient looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I don't feel like a man anymore." That hit me hard. He wasn't just talking about performance, he was talking about identity, confidence, the quiet strength that had slowly faded with age. And for him, the turning point came with something surprisingly simple: black seed oil. Black seed oil has been used for centuries in traditional medicine, but modern science is finally catching up. This oil contains a powerful compound called thymoquinone, which has been shown to boost nitric oxide levels, the very same chemical your body uses to open blood vessels and drive blood into the penis. That means firmer, longer-lasting erections naturally. No prescriptions, no awkward pharmacy pickups, just your body working the way it was meant to. But the benefits don't stop there. Black seed oil also reduces inflammation, balances blood sugar, and even supports testosterone production, factors that all play a major role in erectile strength. I've had men in their late 60s tell me they hadn't had a full erection in years, until they started taking black seed oil every morning. The change didn't just show up in the bedroom, it showed up in their posture, their energy, their sense of purpose. And we're only getting started. Because if you've been struggling with nighttime trips to the bathroom, lower libido, or lingering prostate issues, the next oil I'm about to share may become your new best friend. Let's talk about pumpkin seed oil. 3. Pumpkin seed oil, the prostate protector. Not long ago, a man in his early 70s sat across from me and said, "Dr. Rena, I wake up 5 times a night to pee. I'm exhausted, and when it's time to be intimate, I feel like a stranger in my own body." I hear that kind of story more than I care to admit, and more often than not, the common thread is the prostate. That small gland, often ignored, plays a massive role in both urinary control and sexual function. And one of the most overlooked natural remedies to support it is pumpkin seed oil. This oil is rich in zinc and plant sterols, nutrients that help reduce inflammation in the prostate and support hormone balance. When your prostate is swollen, it can block the flow of both urine and semen. But when it's healthy and relaxed, everything works better. Blood flows more easily, erections become stronger, and that persistent urge to urinate in the middle of the night starts to fade. Pumpkin seed oil also helps protect testosterone levels, which decline naturally as we age. Keeping those levels steady is key to maintaining desire, stamina, and firmness. I've seen men regain nighttime control, reduce bathroom visits, and even reclaim their sex life after just a few weeks of adding this oil to their daily routine. But while pumpkin seed oil helps support the mechanics of male health, the next oil targets something even deeper: your energy, endurance, and the raw stamina you need to feel alive in the bedroom again. Let's dive into the ancient power of Maca Root Oil. If you're still watching and finding this information valuable, go ahead and comment the number 1 below. It lets me know you're here and ready to take action. Now, let's keep moving forward with point number 4. 4. Maca Root Oil, the bedroom stamina engine. I'll never forget a patient named Gerald. He was 68, recently divorced, and had just started dating again after nearly 30 years. But every time he got close to intimacy, he panicked. "Doc," he said, "the desire is there, but the stamina isn't. I run out of gas before we even begin." That's when I introduced him to Maca Root Oil, a natural energy and endurance booster that's been used for centuries in the high Andes of Peru. What makes Maca Root Oil unique is how it targets the body's endocrine system, especially the hypothalamus and pituitary glands. These are the same glands that regulate sexual hormones, energy, and physical performance. Unlike synthetic stimulants, Maca works with your body, gradually building stamina, improving circulation, and reawakening your natural sex drive. For men over 60, that can make all the difference between frustration and fulfillment. What's more, Maca helps increase oxygen delivery to the muscles, including the smooth muscle inside the penis. That means firmer, longer-lasting erections that don't fade as quickly. Gerald called me after a few weeks and said, "I felt like I had my engine back." That kind of transformation is exactly what keeps me doing this work. But even with stamina restored, there's still one powerful factor that can quietly sabotage your performance. Something we don't often talk about, but every man feels: stress. And that's where the next oil comes in. It's gentle, calming, and has helped thousands of men reclaim their confidence from the inside out. Let's take a closer look at Ashwagandha Oil. 5. Ashwagandha Oil, the stress eraser. Some of the most heartbreaking conversations I've had in my office start with this sentence: "I still love her, but my body won't respond anymore." And many times, when I dig a little deeper, I find the true culprit isn't physical, it's mental, it's stress. The kind that builds up quietly over decades, grinding away at your energy, your confidence, and yes, your ability to get and maintain an erection. That's where ashwagandha oil has been a game changer for so many of my patients. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen, meaning it helps your body adapt to stress instead of being overwhelmed by it. And chronic stress does more than make you feel anxious. It actively lowers testosterone, tightens blood vessels, and short-circuits your brain's ability to send the right signals for arousal. Over time, it becomes a silent killer of intimacy. But this oil helps reverse that. It calms the nervous system, lowers cortisol levels, and restores a sense of balance to both mind and body. I've seen men go from avoiding intimacy out of fear and embarrassment to reconnecting with their partners after just a few weeks of daily use. They sleep better, feel less anxious, and most importantly, feel more in control of their erections again. Because when the mind relaxes, the body follows. And while ashwagandha helps calm and balance, the next oil on our list does something equally important. It clears out the very highways your blood travels on. If you've ever wondered what could unclog the pipes naturally, you're going to want to hear about this one. Let's talk about fish oil. 6. Fish oil, omega-3s, the artery cleaner. Years ago, a retired firefighter named Bill came into my office, frustrated and defeated. He said, "Doc, I've always been strong, always taken care of my family, but now I can't even take care of this one part of myself." I knew exactly what he meant. Like many men his age, Bill was dealing with silent plaque buildup in his arteries, especially the tiny vessels responsible for blood flow to the penis. And the truth is, you can't get a strong erection if blood can't get where it needs to go. That's where fish oil comes in. Fish oil is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, natural compounds that reduce inflammation and clear arterial plaque. They help keep your blood thin and your vessels flexible, which is essential for strong, lasting erections. Unlike synthetic pills that only treat the symptom, fish oil works at the root, healing the blood flow system from the inside out. And when your circulation improves, everything improves. Bill started taking high-quality fish oil daily, and within weeks, he wasn't just feeling better in the bedroom. He had more energy, clearer focus, and even noticed his blood pressure coming down. He told me, "I feel like a younger version of myself is waking back up." And while fish oil clears the path for blood flow, the next oil actually helps open the gates. It's a natural vasodilator that's probably already sitting in your kitchen, and it's been restoring male vitality for centuries. Let's talk about garlic oil. 7. Garlic oil, the natural vasodilator. There's a reason garlic has been used as medicine for thousands of years. It doesn't just flavor your food. It fuels your body in ways modern medicine is only beginning to appreciate. I remember one of my patients, Henry, a 73-year-old widower who had recently started dating again. He told me, "Doc, the desire is back, but the performance isn't." I looked over his health chart and saw the usual suspects: mild high blood pressure, early signs of arterial stiffness, and poor circulation. That's when I recommended something simple and powerful: garlic oil. Garlic oil works by increasing nitric oxide levels in the blood, which helps relax and expand your blood vessels. Think of it as a natural switch that turns on better circulation, especially in the most sensitive parts of your body. When blood can flow freely to the penis, erections become stronger, firmer, and more responsive. And the best part? It happens without synthetic drugs or harsh chemicals, just the natural power of garlic. Within a month, Henry told me he noticed a change, not just in the bedroom, but in his confidence. He stood taller, he smiled more. "I don't feel stuck anymore," he said. "That's the kind of change that goes beyond the physical. It restores dignity and connection." And if garlic oil opens the gates for blood flow, the next oil adds something just as important: pleasure. It enhances sensation, nourishes the skin, and reignites that deep physical spark. Let's explore the benefits of coconut oil. 8. Coconut oil, the sensation enhancer. Some men come to me not because they can't get an erection, but because they can't feel it the way they used to. The sensitivity is dull, the connection is faded, and intimacy starts to feel more mechanical than meaningful. That's where coconut oil has quietly become one of my favorite recommendations, not just for what it does physically, but for how it can restore intimacy between partners. Coconut oil is rich in healthy fats that support hormone production, especially testosterone. It also has anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties, which means it keeps the skin healthy, elastic, and more responsive to touch. But what makes it truly special is its versatility. Used internally, it supports your endocrine system. Used topically, especially in massage, it increases circulation, softens tissue, and enhances sensation in a deeply personal way. I remember a couple in their mid-60s who told me they started using warm coconut oil for gentle massage before intimacy, not for performance, but for closeness. Over time, they noticed not only better erections, but also more connection, more laughter, more trust. That's what healing looks like. Sometimes it's not just about hardness, it's about feeling again, both physically and emotionally. And if coconut oil brings the body back to feeling, then the final oil on our list takes it one step further. It's subtle, powerful, and designed to open not just blood vessels, but the heart. Let's talk about the emotional and physical magic of rose essential oil. 9. Rose essential oil, the intimacy rebuilder. There's something about the scent of roses that touches people in ways science still struggles to explain. I once worked with a man named Thomas, 74 years old, who told me, "It's not just the performance I've lost, it's the connection. My wife and I feel like roommates." That sense of emotional distance is something I hear often, and it's one of the reasons I began recommending rose essential oil, not just as a physical aid, but as a bridge back to intimacy. Rose essential oil works on both the body and the mind. Inhaling its aroma can lower cortisol, reduce anxiety, and even activate parts of the brain associated with pleasure and bonding. When used topically in a diluted massage oil, it helps increase blood flow, arousal, and sensitivity, especially when touch has become routine or emotionally disconnected. It brings intention and presence back into physical closeness. What surprised Thomas most wasn't just the physical change, though he did report firmer erections and more responsiveness. It was the emotional shift. He said, "For the first time in years, we didn't just make love, we held each other." That's the power of this oil. It reminds the body and the heart how to work together again. Now that you know the 9 oils that can restore your erections naturally, the next question is how to actually use them. In the next part, I'll share a simple daily routine, something you can start this week that puts all of this into action and helps you feel real results. Let's build your plan. 10. The daily routine to restore your manhood. One of the most common questions I hear after sharing these oils is, "Okay, doc, but how do I actually use them?" That's a fair question. Because while knowledge is power, it's consistency that creates results. I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, even into their 80s, and the ones who experienced real transformation didn't just learn about these oils. They made them part of their daily lives. That's why I've developed a simple, doable routine to bring all of this together. In the morning, start your day with a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil alongside breakfast. It gets the circulation going and helps regulate hormones. Add a black seed oil capsule to reduce inflammation and support blood flow. Around midday, take a few drops of ashwagandha or Maca Root Oil in warm tea or water, something to calm your nervous system and reawaken your stamina. In the evening, try a small spoonful of pumpkin seed oil with dinner. And if you're sharing time with a partner, warm a bit of coconut oil in your hands, maybe even add a drop of rose essential oil, and use it for gentle, intentional touch. This routine isn't about perfection. It's about honoring your body each and every day. Because when you do, something powerful starts to happen, not just in performance, but in how you feel as a man. And in just a moment, I'll share one final message, something I believe every man over 60 needs to hear before giving up hope. Final message every man over 60 needs to hear. If you've made it this far, I want to tell you something important. Something I've told countless men sitting across from me in quiet exam rooms, eyes down, ashamed to talk about what they've lost. You are not broken. You are not too old. And this part of your life is not over unless you decide it is. These 9 oils we've talked about aren't miracle cures. They're tools, natural, time-tested, and powerful, meant to support what your body already wants to do. Improve circulation, reduce inflammation, bring back sensation, awaken desire. I've seen it happen. I've watched men walk in defeated and walk out weeks later with a different light in their eyes. Not because of a prescription, but because they gave their body a chance to heal. If you start using even a few of these oils each day, if you commit to showing up for yourself with patience and intention, you may be amazed by what changes. Your energy, your confidence, the way you look at your partner, and maybe even the way you look at yourself in the mirror. I'm not just sharing information. I'm sharing hope. Because I've seen what's possible. So if you've been wondering whether it's too late to reclaim the man you used to be, I want you to know it's not even close. You're still in there. Let's bring him back, one drop at a time.